Hello, my name is Franklin and welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a Caterpillar 416F backhoe. The boom swing cylinders are both broken off completely and the frame that holds the boom to the tractor is completely worn out. And I'm going to show you that. The customer does not want me to film while working, but it says afterwards I can give you a description. I'm not sure what his reasons were, but I respect them. And I'm going to show you basically how I'm going about taking off the boom, taking off both swing cylinders, replacing and repair them. Let's get to it. Okay, now if you see right here, you see that cylinder right there? That piece right there is supposed to be right there. It is broken off completely. You see that other one there is broken off too. Now you can't really see it, but there's a big space up there. There should be a bushing in between there. There's not. So just a big space, and this little pin here just kind of wobbles around real bad. So we'll have to take this pin out, putting in the new bushings and put in the new pin. So what I end up doing is moving it, clean this hole out, clean this bottom hole out, move it till it's in place, take this pin, the lock, and stick it and lock it in place. Once we get it locked in place, we can bang this one out, replace the bushings, and replace the pin. And then from there we'll go to the bottom and we'll check and see how bad it is. I'm going to be replacing that one as well. Let's go on to the other side. Take a quick look. See, this is the old cylinder here. It looks like it's been broken for quite a while. It's all rusted. This is the piece that's supposed to be right here. So what we'll do is, you see that big old space right there? See that big old space? That big old space shouldn't be there. So obviously there's a bushing missing. So we'll have to clean those out and replace the bushings and replace this pin right here. So I won't have that play in there. And it looks like the bottom part is okay. Maybe they have a bushing for this one here and a bushing for that one there. This one here and the top one. It looks like the bottom one has a bushing in it, but we'll check it out when we get it off. Okay, and this one here, we'll take a look at this one. It looks like this one has a pin here that locks this in place. That looks okay. And it looks like the bottom. We'll check it out once we get the other ones done. So we'll get the parts and get to it. Okay, as you can see, this piece right here is brand spanking new. I had to change it. I'll show you the old one. And what I ended up having to do is I had to get a big excavator here and I chained it from that end and the chain right here, and we fastened it to hold it in place first. And then we had to do is I took out this pin here and this pin there, and I took off this piece here, let this hang down. Then you can see all these pretty colors here, these zip ties, different colors. The other ends are on those hoses right over there. I'll show you those. So I took them all off. As you can see, I put caps on each one of them so that there wouldn't get any trash or dirt in there. If you look down in here, you will see all these hoses here are color coded also, and they all fit up through here. They came up through here, and there's right here there's a bracket that held them all down, and they all connected to these. So all I did was zip tied these for different colors. I zip tied the other end with the same color, took off this clamp, I pulled the hoses through and bent them back over that way. Then as I chained up this part and that part, I had the excavator, I had it up in the air. I took off this pin and this pin and this pin right here, and the whole thing just slid right off. I took it off, I didn't even change, I just set it down about 2 or 3 feet that way. That's all I did. And then what I had to do is, to get this piece here off, this one right here would not come out. I ended up having to get a welder to come and actually burn it out all the way through. This one was loose, it came out, and that one came out. But that one there was completely burned all the way through. And we got this for $6,000. They're dirty. I have to clean those out because these pistons will go there and want to go there. Let me show you the other piece over here. This is the part that was damaged. Still is, of course. We got the new piece. As you can see this thing here, it's supposed to be round. It's like, you know, a little round hole, but it's all worn out, really bad, oval shape, and so is that one there. And this is the one we had to get. See how it's all rusted up? We actually had to burn that out with a torch. It just would not budge. You can see here with those two steering cylinders, they just broke off, and that one there broke off right there. You can see it's broken off right there. So I still got to take these pins out and use these pins to put them in the other one, but I have to sand it out first and clean it out. This is the pin that came out pretty easy. These didn't come out bad at all. But this is the worst part here, I guess, when it's all the weight bending down on these cylinders. Of course, it broke them. So he took it to a machine shop first, and they wanted $6,000 to fix it. And of course, the new one was around $6,000. So he ended up getting the new base, and we're almost done with it actually. The owner did not want me to film while I was doing it for some reason. He was so depressed because it was costing him so much money. It was $6,000 plus what I'm going to charge him. So he was not really in a happy camper. And then when he saw the boom was already on, he came back and said, "Hey, go ahead and film all you want." He was so happy to see his machine back close to being in action, but not in action just yet. So what I want to do now, I'm going to have to use my little Dremel and sand the paint off. When I got this had paint, that had paint, all these things were painted. So this may be like a rebuild. It had paint all in them, and the pins would not go in. So I ended up having to use my little minor Dremel tool with a sandpaper head on it and clean out all the paint from those holes to get it to go on there. So what I'm going to have to do now, I could start the machine because all the lines are kept up. I'm not going to do that. But now I'm going to do right now is I'm going to loosen up these lines here, this one and this one, and then push these out here, you know, because they won't, if they try to push them out now, they won't move because the caps are on, and it'll just make a suction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first loosen these two lines and bang these out, but at first I got to clean the paint out of these slots. And I have to remove the pin from the other piece over there so it'll be able to get locked up again. Well, let's get to it. You know, I told you $6,000 for the repair. It wasn't totally correct. The $6,000 was only for this piece right here. And then we ended up getting two rebuilt cylinders. And I believe they were $1,500 a piece. So he ended up paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 for parts. And I think he repurchased this pen and that pen also. So it came with everything, it came out to around almost $10,000 for parts alone. So he was not a happy camper, and he didn't want to film. He wanted to do nothing. He just wanted to see if we can get it back working again. He wasn't even confident that it would ever work again, but we're going to get it back going for him. So he ended up paying around $10,000 for parts actually, because that parts were rotten broke. So I would recommend that you grease these things constantly so that we don't get the same problem. This has a little hole here, and a grease fitting will screw into that. So most likely what happens is it was never greased since he bought it new. So I would constantly grease this fitting right here to make sure that this piece here stays lubricated so it doesn't wear out. Then, you know, it's got grease fittings everywhere else. Make sure you do your greasing. Even these cylinders have grease fittings, and I think if you do that, you'll avoid that big expenditure. Okay, now I was actually able to remove the boom by myself, but I did get some help putting it back on. I had a guy driving the excavator while I lined the pins up, and I pushed them in with a hammer. Once the pins were in there, I put this in there and then push the pin into this side, and then the rest of it I was able to do myself so far. So it's not really that difficult to do as a one-man job to take it off. It's a one-man job taking it off, but putting it back on, as long as you get an excavator there, you can take the pins out and put the chains on first, pick it up, move it to the side. But putting it back on, you got to have somebody driving the excavator while you kind of line it up to put these two pins in. And once you get those two pins in, or at least one, and then this one, the rest of it's pretty much a one-man job also. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these out here, clean both of those sides out, I'm gonna get the pins out of the other frame and put the same pins back in. And then we'll go from there. Okay, as you can see, I took out both of these pins. That's the broken part of the piston. It came out of there and out of there. I will need these pins to put in where the new cylinders go. As you can see, each one had a spacer and a lock clamp on top. So we're gonna go ahead and put these two pins, clean them off, and put them back into the new frame with the new cylinders. Okay, I'm going to be using this Dremel tool I bought from Harbor Freight for $36. It has served me well in little situations like this. I'm going to have to clean all the paint out of this hole, the hole down there, and this hole there. Now it uses the same battery as my grinder, my drill, my saw, and all the other tools that I have. So I just use the same battery and just stick it on the side there. It goes in right here. And it's just cut it on, speed up the speed you want, and you just kind of put it over there, clean it out, and you sand out all the paint there. I have to do the same with all the rest of them too, because for some reason it all came full of yellow paint. I guess they don't want it to rust or something. But it works pretty good. And I'll sand the other ones with a piece of sandpaper. The pins themselves, I'll get a piece of sandpaper and sand them down. Okay. Let's take a look. In there, looks pretty good. See this little kit here? This kit here came with the Dremel set. And the reason I bought it was I was trying to drill and tap a bolt out, and the tap broke off. And I tried to drill and I couldn't get the tap off. So I went and bought this thing, and it had some little tiny diamond bits that came too. And they drilled that tap out like it was nothing. I had tried to drill, and the drill wouldn't do anything, but them little diamond tip Dremel tools, they drilled that tap out like it was butter. So let me go ahead and change this, because you see how that sucker's all worn out. Okay, back in action. I had to change the little sanding tip because it was all worn out. But we got a new one. The kit came with a box of different things. This little sanding wheel was one of them. And I bought a little diamond drill bit set that screws into there too. And I was able to take out those broken taps. I actually was an extractor. I was trying to take out a broken bolt, and the extractor broke off inside. So I bought this thing and the diamond bit drill bits, and it drilled through that sucker like it was butter. For $39, it's not bad at all. Okay, looks good. Okay, I have loosened up that line back there in the back, and I loosened up these two here, so that way I can pull this out easily and it won't try to suck its way back in. So I wouldn't say easily, but easier. Let me get something a little bit more booty behind it, so it should come out now easier. See, it's coming out now. I'm going to get it to where it'll connect to that one. Okay, let's pull it over. Needs a little bit more. Oh, actually it's close. See there? Now we got it out there. Now we can put that pin in there. maybe a little bit more. There we go. That should do it. Let me go ahead and clean the pins up and we'll put them in. Okay, see, I got it banged back up in there. Then it gets the spacer like that, and then the snap ring. Let me grab a snap ring pliers and lock it on. Okay, we got it all together. Here, all the hoses color coded, yellow, 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 blue, orange, orange. That's how we know we get them all back in the same spot. You can see like a yellow here, that one's yellow with a blue, so an orange, orange. That's how you know you got them all back in the right spot. And we changed these, got new ones, changed that one too, actually rebuilds. Put it in this piece here, which is new. Total cost of parts were around $10,200 came out to. And labor, well, that's secret. Other than that, we're ready to go. We're good to go. Thank you very much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, we cannot start the machine up because there's some parts missing on the engine. If you don't mind, take a second to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not a member of my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And we also have memberships available. If you want to take a look at that, thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one.